Welcome to the Vue Diagram tutorial. In this video, I will show you how to create and customize nodes in the Syncfusion Vue Diagram component. I will explain how to add a node and customize it by adding annotations, styles, and shapes. Also, you will see how to edit the node by changing its size and how to remove a node from the diagram. First, I open my existing Vue application where I have added a diagram component with width and height properties. To learn more about integrating the diagram component into a Vue application, please check the Getting Started video linked in the card above or in the description below. Let me run this application using the command npm run dev. The diagram canvas is rendered with the defined height and width. Now I will show you how to add nodes to the diagram component. You can do this using a nodes collection by drawing a node on the designer canvas, by loading nodes from a data source through data binding, or by dragging symbols from the symbol palette to the diagram canvas. Adding nodes from a data source and symbol palette has been explained in my previous videos. You can find the links to them in the description below. Let's look at adding a node to the diagram canvas using a nodes collection. First, in the diagram tag, bind the nodes property with a value. In the data function, define the nodes property with a variable. Within the script tag, define the nodes variable. Assign a collection of objects and define the offset x property and set a value. The same way, set the offset y value. These values will position the node in the diagram canvas. Define the width and height properties for the node. You can add more node objects in the collection, but to make this demo simple, I have provided only one node in this collection. Save the file, and you can see the node with the default type and shape rendered in the diagram canvas with the provided position and size. Next, let me show you how to add the same node dynamically at runtime. I'll make use of the mounted function to load the node into the diagram. To do so, in the diagram component, add the attribute ref and assign a value. This is done to access the diagram component directly from the script. Within the script tag, declare the diagram instance variable. To define this diagram instance variable, use the mounted function and define it by accessing the $ref subject and assign the diagram objects, e.g. 2 instances. Using this diagram instance, you can access the diagram component related properties. To add a node to the diagram, use the diagram instance and call the add method by passing the node value. Add the first object from the nodes collection. You can also utilize this statement in any event, such as a button component's click event, to dynamically add the node at runtime. Before executing the application, in the data function, remove the nodes assignment statement, since I am going to load the nodes at runtime. Also, remove the nodes property in the diagram component. Save the file, and in the diagram canvas, you can see the node rendered as expected. Next, I'll show you how to draw a node on the diagram canvas. I will enable the drawing tool once a button is clicked. So, to create a button, first install the button package. It is available in the Syncfusion EJ2 Vue Buttons package. The installation is now complete. In the app component, import the button component and define it in the component's property with a name. In the template, add a division tag and set a class name for better alignment. Within it, add the EJS button tag and set the content to draw node. Set a class name for alignment. Add the onClick directive and assign an event handler. In the data function, implement the method drawNode. Within it, use the diagram instances tool property and assign the diagram tool's draw1cnum value to it. This way, you can draw your node one time. You can also set the continuous draw option to draw more than one node at a time. Notice that the diagram tools module is added in the import statement from the Syncfusion EJ2 Vue Diagrams package. To draw a node, you need to define the node shape. To do so, use the diagram instance's drawing object property and assign an object with a property shape that contains an object of type basic and shape rectangle. This will draw a rectangle shape once executed. In the style tag, import the j2vue buttons styles and implement the division tag class style to align left and set the margin at the bottom. Implement the button class style for the right margin. Now run the application. You can see the button component. Click it. When you move the mouse into the diagram canvas, you can see the drawing tool. Now you can draw a rectangle-shaped node one time. You can add annotations to the node at runtime by double-clicking on the node. To add annotations programmatically in the nodes collection, add the annotations property and set an array of objects. Within it, add the content property and set the value to basic. Add another object with content. Set the offset value for the y-axis so that the second content won't overlap with the first. In the diagram canvas, you can see the node with the provided annotations. To customize the color of the node in the nodes collection, add the style property and set the fill property with a light blue color. Set the stroke color to white. Also, you can set the border color, border width, opacity, and many more. Now you can see the node with a light blue background color and white stroke color. The default type of node shape is basic and rectangle. Each node shape type has different shapes within it. You can set the node shape type to basic, flow, UML, or BPMN. You can also set the node shape type with shapes that are created using HTML, text, image, SVG, and path data. I will explain these node shape types in detail in my upcoming videos. Now I will show you how to change the node shape type to flow and shape determinator. To define the shape type programmatically in the nodes collection, add the shape property. Set an object with the property type and assign the value flow. Add the shape property and set the value terminator. In the annotations property, change the content to flow and terminator respectively. In the diagram canvas, you can see the node shape type is flow and terminator with the provided annotations. Next, let's change the properties of the nodes dynamically at runtime. In the division tag, add a new button component and set the content as edit node. Set the event handler name to edit node. In the data function, implement the edit node method. Within it, use the diagram instance, access the node's properties 0th index, and set the width. Similarly, set the height. To change the annotation, access the annotations property and access the 0th index to change the first annotation's content. To change the style of the first node, access its style property and change the fill value and stroke color. Save the file. You can see the Edit Node button. When I click on it, you can see the node has been changed based on the provided properties. The size has been changed along with the first annotation, the fill color, and the stroke color. To remove a node from the diagram canvas, in the template, add a similar button with the text Remove Node and change the click event method name. Define the Remove Node method. Within it, use the diagram instance and call the remove method by passing the diagram instance's 0th index node. Now, click the Remove Node button, and the node is removed from the diagram canvas. That's how easy it is to create nodes and customize them in the Vue Diagram component. You can download the example used in this video from the GitHub link in the description below. I've also included a link where you can check if you're eligible for our community license, which gives you a free license key for our entire Vue suite. If you found this video useful, click the like button and subscribe to our channel to get notifications about new videos. Thanks for watching.